So Minnesota doesn't do that. Because maybe this is the issue, because I was in Oregon, because I came back from Alaska, and I was in Oregon, and the people at Progressive there were like, just do devaluation claim. But I remember I talked to Chris on the phone, he's like, we don't do that, or you don't do that. And I was like, why are other people at Progressive telling me to do that, and Chris is telling me not to do that? That was one of my questions for him.
What it is, each state is different on a devaluation claim.
Okay.
On a devaluation, it ends up being the only way you technically, unless you're in Georgia that I know of, is you have to prove financial loss. And the only way to do that is you have to have to know what the vehicle is worth by an appraisal before the loss.
We should be able to find that.
And what is the difference when you trade it off or sell it? Comes at the sale time, not up front.
Well, it was a unique thing. It's a unique thing because the vehicle, I got the vehicle back. I used it. I actually went to Denver Volkswagen. I went to one in Calgary, several different places to get it repaired. They didn't want to even dive into it due to the extent of the work that was done in terms of rebuilding the front of it after hitting the deer by the Duluth mechanic. They're like, we don't know what he did.
What percentage of the damages to the value of the vehicle was?
I had bought that vehicle for about 10 grand. You know, Todd Shin, who was the guy assigned to it in Duluth, thought it was worth more than that. You know, but I bought it used. I had it for a while. It had been great. And, you know, but I bought 2011 with, I bought, I mean, let's just call it 10 grand because I had bought it fairly recently before that, you know, within the year anyway. And the amount of work they did on it was $3,000-4,000. But then there was additional, work. But then, you know, but my concern is more just the devaluation because let's drive around this winter without a heater. You know, I'm driving around without an air conditioning. It devalued the vehicle. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where I'm at. You know, it just sucks to drive the car.
If the AC's not working because of the loss issue,
the AC was working fine prior to me bringing it there, and it was getting worked out.
Is Progressive saying no, we're not taking care of it all?
Well, this is the issue because they said they would take care of it, but I wasn't at that specific Duluth Volkswagen and Duluth Progressive anymore because I drove it back to Alaska, and then I was working that summer. I stopped for a Ray. I got a receipt that said yes, this was because of that, and the problem is. And I was in the Pacific Northwest, talked to the Progressive guys there, and they were like, well, we would love to dive into it and do it, but you have to approve it via the guys who actually, the claim. So I'm talking to Todd Shin in October or whatever, and he does not want to forward me to a supervisor, and I'm not here in Duluth anymore, so because I'm in Oregon and Washington. And so it was very problematic as the geographic thing, and I have a record of me calling him and emailing him, and him not getting back to me, but he did say, just like the other woman up there, Jennifer or whatever, they totally said that they would fix the air conditioning. But my problem was no shops wanted to do it due to the prior work that was done because they just didn't want to dive into it because of the mechanical. But then I actually had the vehicle at a Volkswagen up there, and I said, hey, you know, get a person from Progressive over here. You can look at the vehicle with the shop. Let's get this thing fixed. Progressive didn't want to do it, and I have a record of this because they're in Duluth, and, you know, and Todd just didn't get back to me, and I'm like, Todd, you need to talk to this guy. And I had Scott Briggs on the phone, who's the supervisor of the Pacific Northwest, and he's like, you have to get with those guys. And I'm like, you know, they just didn't do it. They didn't coordinate it.
So here's the recommendation. You're getting thrown all over the place, and I've been dealing with this kind of stuff for over 30 years, running a shop and also pick a shop, all right? So where are you going to leave that? Chris needs to know because he's the one.
No. I got rid of the car. You don't understand. I had the car, and the reason I got rid of the car is because no one would coordinate to fix it when I was in the Pacific Northwest from this branch. I have emails and phone calls going to Todd Shen here, your people here, asking for a supervisor, and I said, what's going on? Please connect me to. And I told him that I was talking to Scott Briggs in the Pacific Northwest. I told him it was at an approved Volkswagen dealer shop. Get a person from Progressive over here. Let's fix the air conditioning. He didn't do it. He didn't get back to me. I physically drove back here, like not on a vendetta, but like on an accountability. Because like I'm a Christian, I'm not like trying to ruin someone's life and like get them kicked out of their job. But at the same time, you know, it's a $10,000 car. I hit a deer. It comes back to me, and there's clearly outstanding work that needed to be done on it. And granted, I was traveling. I was happy to get back in the car and go. But you know, they need to at some point. We need to fix that air conditioning. And if they can't coordinate with me to do it, just because I'm not in Minnesota any longer, because you know Progressive is a national company and I'm at a different location, we still need to fix it. And if they just don't want to do it and they don't want to call me back, well, that's a problem. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I was at. So
I'm kind of guessing Chris never even knew about this until after. everything else was done.
It's true, but that's not my fault because I still had the vehicle when I was talking to Todd Shin. He would not get me connected to the right person, and I had no idea who it was. I talked to the 1-800 number, and they told me, like the people in Oregon, Washington, to file a devaluation claim. By the time I get to Chris, A, I don't have the vehicle, and then B, he's telling me don't do a devaluation claim. But I was told out there before I got rid of the vehicle to do a devaluation claim and go ahead and get rid of the vehicle. So by Progressive people out there, and I couldn't get anyone from Progressive to engage on that particular issue. Specifically, I'm dealing with Todd Shin and Jennifer, and they did an amount of work, then they approved an additional amount of work, and basically they needed to do another supplement to get that air conditioning fixed. But I took off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Basically, that's kind of what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
You have to address whatever would cost to resolve the AC issue.
So I had taken off, and then the other shot with the coordination or whatever. But I need money from that just to be accountable because we're paying you guys to insure the vehicle and fix the vehicle. And if they weren't able to do it, and if it was something they couldn't, they probably shouldn't have given me the vehicle back. Is the hard truth. But that's not. I don't want to waste your time too much here if you're not the right guy to talk to. This is basically the conversation that we need to have with Chris. And if it didn't get to Chris fast enough, I still had the vehicle, and I have a record of me talking to Todd about it, and Todd not getting me to Chris about it. This was back, a while ago. So that's not my problem. That's their problem.
So that,
You know what I mean?
On the right track to talk to Chris about it.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to kind of do the wrap up.
There's no time to get him. There's no way to get him. Yeah, because my thing is like I'm actually Todd Shin and Jennifer, and again I don't want to do anything because I'm really sensitive to how it all works. I don't want to be like Todd, you messed up. I'm going to sue you as a person, but I'm kind of about to do it because me going after Progressive is not if they are the ones, and I have a record of him not getting back to me, giving me Progressive's contact. They're responsible. You know what I mean? It's like if I came in here and spilled coffee all over your shirt and your work on the table, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I damaged your stuff. You damaged my car. You gave it back to me. The AC didn't work.
You've got the claim number for your vehicle?
I don't have it right here, but I probably have it on an email.
Let's we'll go by your last name.
Yeah, because he has it. He has my
Can
email.
you spell your last name for me, please?
My last name is Hessert, Hessert, and I was
ERT?
I was emailing Chris before, so he should have all that information.
All right. First name?
John, John.
We're just going to pull up the old claim out of the city real quick.
There was a glass came, and then there was the
And
Minnesota Duluth.
No, it's not. Your policy was in.
Well, my policy's out of Maine.
Policy was in Maine.